Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Nope. I gotta start that over.
Probably not.
Too much sound.
Maybe not.
Oh, well, I tried. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast, where we discuss the spirit of Kentucky. My name's Perry, and I got one sleepy boy with me today, and then
Sleepy boy,
and then a bourbon, a swan.
Yeah,
There's a swan back in the This Is My Bourbon land.
And what a beautiful swan it is.
He's a gorgeous. He used to be an ugly duckling, and now he has really come into his.
Changed animals and everything.
Yes, exactly.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good.
Good.
I'm doing great.
I saw Swan earlier today and said, "Hey, you want to be on the show tonight?" And here he is.
Yeah, made it all the way here to Lexington.
Why did you just make that face about the Clyde Mays that you're drinking?
Really different.
Different in a good way or a bad way?
It's got a lot of heat for 85, but it's
Interesting.
flavorful.
Well, do you mind if we try a little bit?
Yeah,
before
go ahead.
We get into it. Okay. So we don't really have a topic for this episode.
No, we're just going to drink a lot of bourbon.
We're just going to be drinking bourbon and talking
Multiple
about
bourbons
what we're drinking.
And lots of bourbon.
You know how this goes. Usually we get off on a tangent, and we'll see where things go.
It's a tangent episode.
Sure. A drinking tangent.
It smells interesting.
Again, good interesting or bad interesting?
I'm going to let you guys get into it. It's something.
It's kind of a good interesting, a weird interesting.
You're making the same face, Perry.
It's very cherry on the nose.
Yeah.
Kind of cherry.
Cherry baked goods
Yeah.
feel.
I don't know. I'm not a super big fan of the nose. So, Swan, talk a little bit about this bottle. We maybe should describe it a little bit.
So, of course, me being me, I went out in the middle of absolute nowhere and
Swan
checked
the
out one of
Bourbon
those, and checked out some of those kind of like mom and pop shops, and I walked in and
Yeah.
this place was like, they maybe had 60 bottles of bourbon total, and I'd say half of those were Kentucky Gentlemen. and they had some of this old Clyde's Mays on the shelf, and I've never seen the label before. It looked older, so I picked it up and got another one for Chad of It's Bourbon Night, and just now
You guys
uncorking
know
it.
Chad.
Oh yeah, hopefully you know Chad.
We lost Kurt for a second, but that's okay. He'll be back. It tastes like straight honey.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's different. I was not expecting this at all.
You know, I'm not getting a lot of the heat that you were. I'll be honest with you.
Let me go back in. See what I
Yeah,
get.
take another sip. Kurt, what did you think?
I haven't tasted it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hold, please.
spoilers.
No, I didn't get as much heat on that one.
Yeah,
And
I think it was
just
probably
first
just
sip.
you taking the first sip. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. You're right though. It's pretty honeyed. Everybody's got the same look on their face right after they
Yeah,
drank
like
it.
it's just not.
It's not,
It's
what
not
I'm
good. It's not
expecting.
good, but it's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
kind of there, and like
It's so even. Like, it smells like it tastes, and it tastes like it smells.
Yep.
Like,
there's virtually no finish. Like it's there, but it is also kind of like a.
I feel like I'm drinking water.
I
Like,
kinda
kind
do
of a
too.
little
Oh, that's
It
dangerous.
tastes like water that, or like honey that you diluted with water.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no barrel influence. There's nothing that screams bourbon about this to me.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's really dark for 85 proof.
It is. It is. How old is it? Do you know?
There's no age statement on it.
Well, we'll never know.
No.
If only there were a way for us to look it up.
We probably could.
We probably could.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway.
Well, there's that. I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just kind of...
I will say
It really is there.
this is what I think like my kind of not I won't say ideal, but this would be like a really good bourbon for just hanging out like on your
Yeah.
back porch.
Uh-huh.
You know, like in the summer, late spring.
Not that I could find another bottle, but it's not bad for like a beginner bourbon either.
No, I would say that like if this were still available, it would be a perfect beginner bourbon. Not perfect necessarily, but it would definitely be more reasonable for a a beginner bourbon.
Yeah, at 85 proof, it's pretty approachable.
Oh, it's very approachable.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had the new one, so I have no idea how this compares to the new ones.
No idea either.
I don't mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of growing on me a little bit.
I think so too, but
I wouldn't say that's like my ideal, I gotta have it. It's
No.
just,
I'll tell you though, I could probably get into trouble drinking it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I don't-
It would be, it'd be dangerous.
For sure. I've only got 2 bottles, though, so you can't go too crazy.
Well, no, of course, and we're not going to because we have more bourbon that we have to drink tonight.
yes.
So we're gonna
do.
move on. So I'm about to pour something for everybody that I talked about. I did a live stream last week on Instagram, like about an hour after I found this. And if you saw that, this is going to be old news for you, but I'm going to go back through it again. So I went to this store in Richmond, Kentucky, that is fairly new. I mean, within the past year or so. So you would expect them to have a whole lot of new stock, right? You wouldn't expect for there to be old things just hanging out on the shelf.
Well, Perry, if you're talking about new stock, you must be talking that it's going to be something old.
Well, it is something old. In fact, it's 12 years old. I mean, it's not on the label, but anyway, it's a Wild Turkey from 2006. It's an 80 proof. I was super stoked to have found this. Swan tried it earlier today, actually, before I knew that he was going to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready to try this. And what we're going to do, because it's 80 proof, I wanted to compare it to the Long Branch, which just came out recently. Gentlemen, if you will pass me your glasses. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
We got quite a few to go through tonight.
We do, yeah.
I'm a little crazy with my Clyde Mays, so make it light.
So, not really quite sure what the age is on this. I think the general consensus is that it's about 4 to 6 years. But, I mean, it could be anywhere like as old as 8, because that's what Turkey did for a long time with their bourbons. What do you think about it on the nose there, Kurt?
I like it.
I do too.
It's subtle, but
yeah,
but
it's
everything
enjoyable.
you kind of want. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is something really earthy about it too, sitting on the front end.
Yeah, it's got more of like a barrel influence. I think some of the new Turkey has. I mean, it may just be sitting in the barrel longer.
Definitely. And I think that the one thing that's kind of popping out to me is that it kind of smells like green apples. I know that's like a super...
That is a very specific
thing, and it might influence your smell from now on, but...
A little bit. I get it. It's like the sweetness.
Yeah, I think that's what it is that fruity sweetness to it. But anyway, cheers, I guess.
Very smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say it's one of my favorite 80 proof bourbons I've ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's like bouncing with flavor, because it's really...
No.
I mean, it's a fairly standard palate, but I think that, like, as far as an 80 proofer goes, there's not much heat. The finish isn't super long, but that doesn't, like, upset me or anything.
You've got good flavor.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of that sweetness from the nose kind of carries over.
Yeah, I mean, it's
well.
everything you want. And if this was their lowest offering, I'm sure some of the Austin Nichols stuff that was like the rare breed and all that must have been insane.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And, like, I want to find more of these bottles. Not that I'm going to be able to, like, just hop over to the store
Yeah.
and pick them up or anything, but I'm gonna be on the lookout a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely good.
Also, this was a $15 bottle of bourbon.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which is
Interesting.
great for a 375 from 2006.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There's a lot of people, and like I had very strongly considered not opening this and reselling
Just
it.
reselling it.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm too curious. I mean, it
Gotta try it.
it
yeah.
really got the best of me.
Makes you wonder if like the people that are selling this know what they actually have. Like there's just a brand new bottle of Wild Turkey behind it. They just have no clue that this one's special.
That one is special.
Like
they had no clue.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, absolutely not. But like again, that's my question. Where did they get this from?
I don't know.
Like where did they pick it up from? How did it wind up in their stock? Did they inherit their stock from somebody else?
Yeah.
Did somebody come into the store and leave it on the shelf and then go?
How did you get this?
I know, it's such a mystery to me that a new store...
They obviously don't know what they have because they're selling it to you for $15.
Exactly. And it's not a vintage store like Justin's is.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot more than 15 if it was Justin's.
Yeah, exactly. Have you been in there yet?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, what'd you think
it's
about it?
awesome.
Yeah.
It's a cool place.
Love it.
It's more of a museum than like
it is.
necessarily going in to buy something.
And I mean,
at least at my I'm looking to pay.
And they do still have their selection of like modern bourbons too. But
I do really like their. It's like on a separate table that they have, but it's like the export and like kind of more of the. It's still hard to find, but it's.
What? Is there new stuff out there?
I don't know.
I might have to go back.
And maybe it wasn't an export thing or anything.
What was on there?
I forget precisely.
Oh wait, was there like Blanton's Gold on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw like an Instagram post from them where they talked about how they had new stuff out. So
I guess that was it.
There. Yeah, I haven't been there since then.
But anyway, like they had all this stuff, and it was. I mean, that little table was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fairly priced. I mean, you're still going to be paying like a premium for it, but like it still was pretty good.
It's a premium liquor store.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I mean, they have a whole wall of vintage bourbon.
Yeah.
Vintage whiskey. I mean, like,
it
is like, I think the epitome of.
I think that's my thing is if I walked in there, I would purchase from that table.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah. So I just remembered that I forgot to ask you guys a very important question.
What's that?
What you been drinking recently?
Oh, everything, Perry. All of it.
Tell me then, Swan. List it alphabetically and by proof.
So actually, I've been doing something kind of weird. I had like 6 bottled and bonds that were down to like probably about a fourth of the bottle, and I just mixed them all together. And I've been drinking on that. Gotta say, I'm not honestly impressed. It was just okay. Like I thought, oh, this is gonna be so cool. I looked up how long to sit it there, and I left it for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. Took the first drink, and I was like, I'm gonna be mixing this with Coke.
I've actually been doing a blending experiment as well. I'm not gonna divulge the secret yet because I want everybody to try it blind on the show.
Okay.
But I'm pretty proud of it so far. I'll say that much.
Antique 107.
Yeah.
And Weller 12.
William LaRue Weller.
No, it took it a step further. Now, mine was all bottled and bonds, so it was like your guys' budget bond fight that you had for the first episode, except I just mixed them all together. So I tried that out.
All right.
So I was excited because I knew it was going to be 100 proof. It wasn't going to have to be some crazy math where I figured it out. And it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what I think I would probably figure. Because it's just like, it's so many different things going into one thing.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, and it's all these it's the same thing with, like, is my infinity bottle going to be good?
No, it may not be, but it's the concept of it that's the cool thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. And what I like, too, about it is that it's something that nobody else is going to have. You know? I mean, that's why I like the idea of the infinity bottle so much, because nobody else is ever going to have this bottle of bourbon or whiskey or whatever it winds up being in the end.
And some of them that you put in there are seriously impressive. Like, at the end of it, you got William LaRue Weller. And you're like, there's a little bit in there. It tastes great.
I'm not going to put any of the William LaRue Weller in my infinity bottle. I mean, that's strictly for drinking.
Yes, exactly.
Unless I wind up with, like, a bunker of backups.
Oh, that's not going to happen. It was hard enough finding you one bottle.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Kurt, what you been drinking recently?
Let's see. Let me look over here.
Turn over to your liquor cabinet, please.
Well, I've been drinking Henry McKenna because, you have
Aren't we
to.
all at this point?
Like, wow.
You're gonna have to get a few bottles of that before it disappears forever.
Honestly, yeah.
Thanks, Fred.
It's gonna be frustrating.
Yeah, thanks, Fred Minnick. But speaking of Fred Minnick, well, actually, we'll come back to Fred in a second. Go ahead and talk about what you've been drinking.
And then 1792 Full Proof, because always. And
Kurt, like 1792.
Imagine that.
That's new.
And then I actually opened up my William LaRue Weller again.
Oh, did
and
you?
And had a little taste of that again. And man,
I'm gonna have a little bit as my graduation present to myself.
I shouldn't have. It was there was no special occasion. But I just did it.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
too.
I've been there before, man. It's like, oh damn, it's Tuesday. Let's get into some coffee real quick.
Yeah, it's like, why? Why did I do that?
I mean, oh, that's right. You have a bottle of 12 year, don't you?
Yeah, I got 12.
I always forget that. I have a little bit left of mine that I won.
Yeah, I bought the 12 and I got a 10-year and I sold a 10-year to Chad.
Yeah,
because he didn't have one and seemed super excited about it.
I feel like Swan's name shouldn't be the bourbon finder, but he's the bourbon dealer, because that just feels what it is.
I gave you a pretty massive box of stuff.
You really did.
Today.
You really did for delivery.
The bourbon finder, and then it's also the retail prices too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
he's not making you.
He's not. Hey, $500 for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I just take it as I work retail, so I've got that weird schedule where you can follow the truck around.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not get it for people that are working the normal 9-to-5s or have classes?
Yeah. Well, I don't have classes
Not anymore.
Yeah, because I'm
Harry
graduated.
I guess no more bottles for you, man.
Oh, no. Well, let me think about what I've been drinking. I've been drinking more of Elijah Craig.
Oh,
of course. I mean, I can't. I know it sounds awful, but I just can't put that bottle down.
They are good.
I mean, it's so.
Honestly, we should just start buying casings and cases of Craig and Henry
McKenna. I wouldn't be upset about that. I mean, we're gonna lose. We might lose both of those eventually.
Yeah.
That Henry McKenna has been real good. Of course, I've been drinking a little bit of this turkey. I killed a bottle of Early Times Bottled and Bond. We might get to this fresh bottle of it on this. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot in front of us, and we'll find out. But anyway, to back up a little bit, speaking of Fred Minnick, as we were a few minutes ago, I did a preview episode with Fred and Chef Edward Lee of Milkwood in Louisville about Bourbon and Beyond, which is the big bourbon and music festival that happens in Louisville. Now, this is just the second year that it's happened. But anyway, if you haven't listened to that, this is going to be your first indication of our big news, which is that we are supposed to be at Bourbon and Beyond with the podcast in September. And
cue the clapping.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
we're all kind of freaking out about it a little bit. What we're hoping to do, like our game plan for it right now, is that we're going to be doing interviews not just with the bourbon people, but also with some of the artists that are going to be there. So we're talking like Lenny Kravitz and Sting and Robert Plant and John Mayer and I mean, like there's just
the hope anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
Oh, yes.
So that is really big for us. So be on the lookout for those episodes when they drop in September or October. I just I wake up in the middle of the night because I'm so excited.
Are you going to be able to handle it if you're drinking bourbon with John Mayer and interviewing him at the same time?
I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to fight through the tears of
Perry will be a giddy schoolgirl. That is, and I'm going to have to be like, Perry it's, you just need to, just relax.
Just dial it back a little bit there, Perry.
Give us something here.
I'm not getting into it. Anyway, so that's our big news for now. So anyway, we just poured some of the Wild Turkey Long Branch to compare it to the 80 proof. Mm-hmm. You have not had it before.
No,
Kurt.
I have not had it.
Swan and I have had it before. What do you think about it? Because you had a sip and you made a face, and you gave a little shrug. but I'm curious to hear your like
The shrug was
well-defined thoughts.
The shrug was more of like a huh.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because compared to the Wild Turkey 80 proof, I thought they were pretty similar, which you guys might disagree with me on. But I thought that the Long Branch had a little more heat to it.
Yeah.
But I felt like there were some flavors underneath on the Long Branch that I liked a little more than what I did the 80 proof.
What do you think, Swan?
I like honestly, I'm going to go with the 80 proof. I don't know if it's extra age or how it was finished. Or excuse me, some weird wording on here. I forget what it is.
It's
refined.
The filtering. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just different. Like, I mean, not that I'm a huge Jack Daniels fan, but you can tell that there's something that they did with that to make it taste different, almost like a little brighter or sweeter or something.
Sure.
I get that in this too. It's not as like in your face, but it's definitely there.
It is really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Long Branch is really sweet. I don't know. It just doesn't sit very well with me on my palate.
Really?
Yeah. If I had to compare it to something, now that I've just had it, it actually kind of reminds me of the Clyde Mays that we just had.
Really?
Yeah, where it has that...
I don't think so.
It has that sweetness on it, but it also still... Like, it takes what the Clyde Mays does and kind of ramps it up a little bit in terms of, like, heat and bite. Because it does definitely have a bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even at 86 proof, I think that there is something on the back end that kind of makes me want to fight with it a little bit. But I just overall, like, I just don't know if I like it that much. I think that the 80 proof would be what I would prefer between the two of them. Would you take the Long Branch?
I think now that I'm sitting here with the finish though,
Yeah.
and you mentioned something about it, which could be me just being biased, like
I hate the
being
finish
swayed,
on it.
but the finish is pretty strong.
Yeah, I don't
and
like
it's
the
still
finish at
just
all.
there. I don't know. I think what got me was I thought the flavors I guess the brightness, like you were talking about, Son, is what initially got me. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about it.
It's very different.
Yeah, and whereas the 80 proof, it was more of a, it's pretty mellow all the way through. I think that's why I was like, oh, this is different a little bit. I kind of like this a little better.
For sure.
It's definitely more complex, and I think it's a good addition to Wild Turkey. I just don't think it's a good addition for me. Like, I know people are going to love it.
Yes,
but the finish for me kind of kills it a little bit. The sweetness is great, but then it kind of goes into heat and kind of a funky finish, and I'm not really...
It's the finish.
It's the finish.
I'm not there for it.
It's the finish,
Yeah.
because the finish... I mean, not that the palate is anything to write home about, but the finish is just awful, I think.
It's not great.
It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It
on a scale, on
our scale?
on the Long Branch and Wild Turkey 80 proof,
Yeah.
that nobody's going to be able to try.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're just kind of...
What?
It's like, you'll never find this, but it's okay. We'll keep talking about it.
Yeah.
That's like comparing picks to normal bottles. Like,
I just
it's
feel
hard
like
to...
they're
About the same?
in the same range.
It was just like when you were telling everybody about your Henry McKinnon. You're like, if you can manage to find this bottle
Yeah,
with
I
this
know.
specific number.
Yeah.
I know.
And for like 2 weeks straight, I was like, it's totally doable. It's totally doable.
Not
I'm going to
doable.
find it.
No.
And then I went to like 4 or 5 different shops, and the guy's looking at me just tear apart his shelf with Henry McKinnon on it. I'm like, this is just not happening.
I want to know.
not doing
Look, if you acted in the same way that Swan did, based on our discussion of
I
that
feel
bottle of
bad
Henry
for
McKinnon,
everyone.
I do too. Write in or tweet us or whatever, and let us know that you went through that.
Yeah.
Because I feel really bad about it.
We had like 3 cases at work, and I'm going through the cases, and the manager's looking at me like,
Nope.
what are you doing? You don't work over here. And I'm just like, I've got to find this. I know it's in here somewhere.
The important thing about that bottle, though, is that it wasn't just the barrel. I think that a lot of it had to do with the distilling season as well. There was just, I don't know, but I mean, it could have been the barrel. It could have been something was just off. I mean, it was just the fact that everything worked so well
Everything
together,
I don't know,
and it became just this.
It was really good.
I mean,
That was one of the highest that we had ever given.
yeah, We both gave it like 17s and 18s, I think. But
Well, it's just crazy how different some single barrels are. Like, I know I went over to Chad's one time, and I had a bottle of E.H. Taylor single barrel, and he's like, all right, now try this.
Mm-hmm.
Mine tasted fantastic. It probably would have been up there in your guys' score range, and then I tasted Chad's, and I'm like, I can't finish this. You're going to have to take this back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same with Henry McKenna or any other single barrel, but it was crazy how different they were.
no, I've had that specific bottle.
You know the bottle.
I know exactly what bottle it is, and it is garbage.
It's
I
pretty
mean,
bad.
it's one of the first things that he will offer to people
He's just trying to finish
if he's like, hey, you want to try
get it
something
done.
different? Oh, no,
Yeah.
he's definitely trying to get rid of that bottle. I mean, he does not want that thing to be around at all.
Yeah, I've got that Woodford Masters collection, the white corn one, and every time somebody comes over, it's like, try this, it's great. And
Have you had that one?
Whew.
You need to have that one to compare it to the cherry one.
I
Yeah.
would love to get rid of that.
The cherry one?
Which one? Have you tried it?
I have one. I own a bottle. I'm not proud of it, but
Of
I
the
own
cherry
a bottle.
smoked barley?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because Swan's actually how I tried it the first time. That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, guys.
I think I compared it to, like, what was it, strawberry, just like Circle K cereal or whatever it is, the Special K cereal. It was just bad. It wasn't great. They tried.
What did we say? Carpet?
It tasted like It tasted like you dropped cherries on your carpet and kind of
And then
like
you,
took
like-
your foot and rubbed it in real quick, and then you smelled it and was like, "There it is. There's our Masters collection." Not to
Aren't we
totally
lucky?
ruin.
Man, but
that.
we've actually had a couple of people say that our thoughts were on par with theirs, and they kind of needed somebody else to validate how they were feeling about it.
Well, that's good.
So we're on the right track. I
I
guess.
mean, when you spend that much on a bottle of bourbon or whiskey, you're like, this is going to be phenomenal.
Exactly.
Nothing could
It's
go
gotta
wrong.
be.
And it sounds good.
Yeah, and I feel like some of those people that we were wanting validation from, they are all sitting there like, oh, it's not great. It's
Yeah.
just okay.
and it's really not great.
Yeah.
It's really awful.
Well, I knew even when I was buying it, because I sat there and I was like, I'm serious, I did. I knew. I asked, I was like, yeah, like, have you heard anything on it? Have you tried it? Or I was just asking the cashier that was running, and he goes, we've had people come in and say they love it. Some people come in and say they hate it. And I was like, well,
Great.
awesome.
Right. That gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah. And I was just hoping that I was one that would love it, and it didn't happen.
And here we are. I think that was easily
That's the worst that we-
100% the lowest thing
Well,
we've
that and
ever
was it
scored.
the Winchester or whatever?
We didn't even rank the Winchester.
Well, yeah, but I
That
think
was
it'd be
just
on the same.
bad. Oh no, that would definitely be on the same
Yeah.
end of the spectrum, but
Except you paid probably like
$6 total.
$3 for that.
I'm going to bring the white corn next time for a new all-time low.
Worse?
Oh, but you'll love it, though. Some people love it, some people hate it. You might be one of those that loves it.
right. Yeah.
I've had the white corn, right?
Yeah, you made a pretty god-awful face.
Yeah, I remember
it
now.
wasn't great.
I remember now.
Wow.
Well, you guys want to drink something else?
I'm fine.
Swan's like, I'm just here. I'm just along for the ride.
I just found out
drink.
like 2 hours ago. It's like, hey, you're gonna be on a podcast, and I'm like, oh, sweet, another excuse to drink bourbon. This is gonna be great.
I will say too that Swan has given us some pretty good samples.
Oh yeah.
By the time this episode comes out, this live stream that we're going to be doing after the episode will have already happened and everything. But we're going to be doing some pretty awesome samples.
Pretty
For
prime.
pretty good.
Well,
And Kurt doesn't even know what they are yet,
No,
so
no.
I'm kind of saving the
no.
surprise for him. So, Kurt, you have brought to the table the next bottle that we're
Yes,
going
I
to
have.
be trying on the show. What is it?
Well, we got some Whistle Pig 10-year straight rye whiskey, and it's barrel strength. It's 114.8 proof.
Sorry.
So, was that
Well-
your whistle?
No, that was my
Pig?
my suey. You know, what do you call for pigs?
Okay, okay.
Suey?
Oh, is that what that was?
Does that work?
I don't know. I don't don't know again.
You know what? Let's just pour the whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we don't normally drink rye on the show. On last week's episode, I had an American whiskey with my buddy Robert Hanna. And
sorry, you said Robert Hanna, and I was thinking, what's the guy's name that has like always was the animal keeper, like the zookeeper?
Oh, the Kraft brothers?
No, it was Hanna. Something Hanna.
Oh, yeah, he's on Jimmy Fallon all the time.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I do not like the nose on this.
Yeah.
Is this finished in anything?
No.
Really? It smells like it is.
I don't believe so.
It smells like a...
It's definitely one of those ryes that's not like 51% rye. It's hefty on the rye.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, it's straight rye.
No, it's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I've always been a fan of like Pikesville, and I think that's right around 51%.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And that's awesome. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And the proof points on these are about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly certain it's not finished in anything.
It's so spicy on the nose.
I'll just wait.
Okay, well... Oh, Swan made the face that I think Kurt was going for, so here we go.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Now I'm realizing why you gave me such a big pour. You're trying to...
Huh. No, I actually kind of like it.
It gets better.
No, I really do like that. That's really interesting.
Okay.
Oh,
Perry likes it.
hello.
I will say, I mean, the more I drank of it, the more I was like, okay, I enjoy it more. There's still just a little bit. It's too heat for me.
Yeah, there is a lot of spice on it. I will say that. And I think that where I would...
It's right at the end.
Yeah, it is.
On the back of the tongue, down to the finish.
And that's what I don't like about it. And that's where like the score would fall for me, is that it's like a really strong pepper spice that hangs around on the back end that I'm not a big fan of.
I'm more on. I think I'll let Swan, you give your opinions.
It's too much, man. It's way too much spice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I get the flavor, but then it's quickly overtaken with somebody just like, I'm going to numb your tongue to the point we can do some surgery on it. I mean, it's rough. I mean, I get what you're saying, though. Like, there's definitely, as soon as you get it on your palate, you're like, oh, the flavor's actually pretty decent, and then it's just overtaken by, like, every part of your tongue being kind of angry at you.
The more you drink it, the more you're like, okay, I'm good. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is drinkable. This is, like, I could drink this. But the first few, you're like, just too much heat, too much spice. Which I wonder, is that the barrel strength? But...
Well, I mean, rye by nature is a spicy grain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fact that it's barrel strength is going to...
But I'm fairly certain that even if it's not barrel strength, it's still at I think it's like 95 proof or something, which is, I mean, obviously a huge difference.
Sure.
But I wonder how much of a difference it is. Like, I think I would like it better if it wasn't the barrel strength.
I think it's going to be the rye, because honestly, like, I had Perry over to try a sample, and it was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is considerably higher than this in proof point. And to be honest, I feel like that goes down way easier, like, as far as...
Spoilers, that's one of the samples for the live stream. Yes.
And, I mean, that one's 131. I mean, it's up there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that has more flavor and nuance that I can pick up without my tongue being like, oh, this is a little much. So I don't know. I think it's the rye, personally.
Have you guys ever had salt and vinegar chips?
Yep.
That's how this numbs my tongue. It's that same kind of like numbing. It's the vinegariness of it.
I can say that.
I'll be honest with you guys. I really do like the flavors on it. I think that there's some really like strong candy kind of notes to it, and when I say candy, I mean like a sweet sugary candy, more along the lines of like a Jolly Rancher.
Okay. See, I'm thinking more of like a pretzel that's like a like a chocolate covered pretzel of some sort, you know?
Well, let me take another sip and I'll let you know if that's how I feel as well.
It is starting to get
Okay,
better.
maybe a little bit.
See, it gets better.
No,
But initially, it's just like,
Yeah, the heat's still on the back end though, man.
yeah.
It's hefty on that.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think that the like for me at least, the flavors aren't being overtaken by the heat. Like I think that they complement each other very well.
Yeah.
And
For me, it's I don't.
yeah.
I think the heat just overcompensates a
Yeah.
little too much.
Well, like if I had to put numbers on it, I would say it's like 60% heat and 40% flavor, which is not bad to me. Now, if it were closer to like an 80% or 90% with the heat,
All right,
then I
let's-
would be like, you wanna rate it?
No, I just want to throw
Okay.
this in here.
Okay.
It's $95. Now put that 60 heat and 40 flavor.
No, it drinks like a $60 whiskey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
It's not
also
a
glad
night,
that they're
yeah.
starting to make their own stuff. I know that
Yeah, me too.
they're making their own stuff, which is great because I mean, there's nothing really wrong with sourcing. I just like the idea of them making it in house,
Making your own.
bottling it in house,
Yeah,
barreling it in all of
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you tried the Black Prince the other day. How does this
I
compare?
did try the Black Prince. I like this better than I do the Black Prince.
That's shocking to me.
And it's probably shocking to most people. So, for a little bit of background on it, Chad and Sarah of It's Bourbon Night got a sample of the Whistle Pig Boss Hog Black Prince release, which is super limited and
Super expensive.
is extremely, I mean, like in the $300 range.
Really?
And I got to try it. They had a little bit of the sample left over, and it just kind of fell flat for me. Like it was good, but it wasn't. I mean, it definitely wasn't a $300
Yeah.
whiskey.
At Liquor Barn in Hamburg, they had the farm stock, and then also the it was finished in, I want to say, like sherry casks.
I feel like I would
Maybe.
like that more because Perry
remember.
is picking up on a little bit of that like Jolly Rancher sweetness that he got, and
Mhm.
I'm just not getting that personally.
And I think that if it,
I think that sherry would give it life again for the
oh yeah, like if it got finished in something, it would probably elevate a lot of what we
Expect from.
expect or are picking up on
Yeah.
with this. So, look, if we were going to rate this, I would probably put it in like the 13 to 14 out of 20
I think
range.
that's fair.
And I think where it would fall short for me would be the price. This is not a $90
Definitely not.
whiskey.
No.
I mean, this... And I think what I'm discovering about Whistle Pig is that it's just overpriced.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, not that the product is bad, but it's definitely an overpriced product.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I think it has going for it, as far as like people saying it's overpriced, is you got some people that are sticking, moonshine into a barrel and aging it 6 months and charging $50. I mean, if you compare it to that,
Who's doing that?
like Jeff the Creed, I mean that's only 2 years.
I might have to bleep that out. I'm just kidding.
It's only 2 years, which I mean this is
Yep.
10, so that's 5 times more. And if you add up how much that bourbon's worth, it's
I don't know, guys. I really like it. I really, really like it. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it's definitely better than the Black Prince, which sucks.
yeah.
For them,
well, I mean
it sucks for them
for them,
because they
yeah.
overpriced their premium product.
that just
But-
means they'll never buy it, which is completely fine.
I think it's overpriced. I really do.
Absolutely.
I don't think the product's really that. It's not bad. It's like a good product that they have. I think it's just that they don't. Their price point's too high.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like trying to sell it as a ooh, this is our premium straight rye whiskey, and it's like, yeah, but bring that down a little bit, please.
Yeah, but hold on.
Yeah, but hold on. I know there's not a ton of full straight ryes.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if it's the fact that it's...
I would pay $50 for this.
I think it's a $50 to $60.
Yeah, that's right where I'm at.
Whiskey.
I like the James E. Pepper better than this.
The James E. Pepper rye?
Yeah, and I think it's like up there for the rye content, and I like that a lot better. And it is still super spicy, and it's the same as this, where the first 2 or 3 drinks, you're like, ooh, I don't know about
Not
this.
Not sure about this.
Yeah, but I feel like it opens up more. But
well, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact, too, that our palates are more trained to bourbon. And so...
I will say that.
Like if we take what makes bourbon out of the equation and just keep one facet of it in, of course we're all going to be like,
yeah, this isn't...
It's different. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would be interested to see what Whistle Pig does with an actual bourbon recipe.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. They should do that.
Yeah.
Or even see how their own stock compares to what they've been sourcing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
It might be completely different.
For sure.
True.
I want to say, though, that you were talking about sourced versus, like, in-house produced grain. Or mash and everything. I have less of a problem with it than I did before. And what won me over was the Boone County 12-year.
Really?
Which is a sourced bourbon. It's about 90-ish proof and now like 12 years old. And I reviewed it with Chad and Sarah. I said I would have bought it over Bland's.
All right.
Yeah. And that's one of the bigger endorsements that I can give about a bourbon, because I've always spoken very highly of Bland's.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been like, yeah, go get it. It's great. But I don't think that there are terrible bourbons or ryes out there. Well, hold on, let me back up. I don't think that all of the bourbons or ryes that are sourced are terrible.
No, some of it, you just basically say, I want this mash bill, I want this kind of barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And then you send it to them. It may only be in the barrel for a week, but when it gets sent to them.
Sure.
And then it ages wherever they want it for however long they want it. And
I think
finished however they want it. There's really nothing wrong with sourcing other than just the purists saying, like, oh, it's not made at home.
Yeah.
They didn't do it themselves. If you really want to get into that, I can understand your viewpoint on it. I just maybe don't agree with it. It's...
That's okay. I understand.
Yeah, it's just some people like that. It's like, say I'm from Frankfurt. So if it's not made in Frankfurt, bottled in Frankfurt, barreled in Frankfurt, all of this, and I don't want to call it Buffalo Trace.
Sure.
I can get that viewpoint, but
yeah.
They're doing something, and they're a new company that's putting out 10, 15-year-old product and quick.
Definitely.
And it's still got their name, and it's different than everything else. So I'm fine to try it, even if it's sourced.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that it's not the fact that the bourbon's not good. It's the fact that, like you were saying, you weren't the ones that put the
Yeah. It's the ownership of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Well, I think that it's a good time to move on to the review for the episode. Which is actually going to be a non-sourced
Oh boy.
bourbon. We are going to review, as you probably know by the description of the episode, the Wilderness Trail Bottled and Bond Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
I'm excited for this.
I'm so pumped for this. It's a single barrel too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've not had it yet. Swan's not had it. Kurt's not had it. This is their first release from the distillery. They're out of Danville. It's a wheated bourbon. And let me just say, I am super proud of this distillery for their first product their first bourbon being bottled in bond.
That's like unheard of.
Yeah.
There's two of them I know that are doing it, and the one that I know of that's also doing it besides them has still got like 2 years left before they're putting out products. Castle and Key in Frankfurt.
Yeah. Castle and Key is going to be another one to watch in terms of, this kind of
Oh, it definitely is.
product. And I'm super pumped for the Castle and
There's
Key.
a lot of buzz going around on that one.
Oh, as soon as it comes out, you're not going to be able to find it on the shelves. There's going to be people like me standing there waiting on the truck. Like, got any on there?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Branding's really awesome, too. Just
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
shout out to...
Oh, and their gin is really good, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I know that they did... It was very limited, but they put it out.
It's like a bourbon drinker's gin.
Mm.
But I really liked it.
Yeah.
I'll try to find some more. Okay, so this is a first shot. Is that what I call it? Yeah, first shot. Review of this. Oh, and I ruined the pop. Oh well. Hold on, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right.
Interesting. I
Yeah?
don't like that it's a synthetic cork.
Whatever.
Oh well. Could be worse.
I'm over my beef on that. Just because the one day I got like Henry McKenna and it was a screw top, and I was like, really?
Well, that bottle of Henry McKenna that we really love is a screw top.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
it does absolutely nothing.
No,
It just
doesn't matter.
is like an aesthetic thing.
I was kind of angry at synthetic corks for a while, and then I had an actual cork break off inside of the bottle, and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. I'm not a wine
now it
drinker at
makes
all,
sense.
but I had to go get one of the like corkscrews to open it and get it out. And I was like, that's too much.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the synthetic.
So first sniff on the nose, I'm going to say I'm not a huge fan of just yet. But I think it's because
It has a little sting.
Yeah, it smells kind of grainy to me so far.
I get the grainy. A little bit sweet, too.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
I'm
say
getting-
sweetness for
I'm
sure.
getting more sweet than a ton of grain.
A very light, like, caramel apple
Yeah, I can see
smell
that.
to it.
But the ethanol's strong. It may just be the glass, but
And there's not too much, like, barrel on the nose either.
No.
yeah.
No, I'm not catching the barrel. I'm getting sweet.
It's weird.
Sweet with sting.
I keep
Yeah.
going back and getting something like a little bit different.
Same here. Same here.
So I don't.
Which makes it really interesting. to
It makes me think maybe it's gonna be complex when you actually take.
That's
sips of it,
exciting.
Yeah.
which is what I want.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that I like the nose. I mean, it's not blowing your mind or anything, but
No, but it's
good.
It's certainly intriguing me
oh yeah,
in terms of like,
it's not deterring me at all.
oh no, absolutely not, absolutely not. Well, guys,
So Barry just lifted his glass and his mic just fell down.
well, guys,
Let's try that again.
let's go for take 2.
All right.
Cheers.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh.
Where did you find this again?
Found this in Nicholasville, Kentucky.
All right, I know where I'm going after this.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's solid.
First, okay,
That's
so
solid for first.
impressions. Let me just go like right down the line. There is no spice, which I think is a product of the fact that it's a wheated bourbon. It's incredibly sweet.
Yes.
I still think it drinks
Maybe
like,
teetering on a little too sweet, but not much.
just a little bit. Yeah, I think it drinks like what you would expect a caramel apple or like a caramel candy to taste like if it were in like liquor form, but it doesn't detract from. I actually get more of the barrel influence on the palate
Yeah, I do too.
that I was missing on the nose.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot.
I enjoy
I'm
it.
really happy with this. I still am not a huge fan of the nose,
Yeah, the nose and the palate don't really match up.
but I think the palate is really exquisite. Exquisite is not the word I was going for there. That was just the word that came out. Exceptional is what I was shooting for.
It's got just the right amount of heat.
I agree. I agree.
Like, they nailed that.
It hangs around on the back end.
Who's the
Yeah, but
master
it's
distiller
nice.
at this
It's so
place?
nice.
They're nailing it.
Yeah.
For a first product, that's pretty...
First product, that, I mean,
awesome.
come on.
And I mean, this is just a
Bottle
single...
and bond.
Yeah, this is just a single barrel, too. So, I mean, they have more to come. This is awesome.
The fact that
this is
the fact
so
that they're
exciting.
gonna have more products.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm excited thinking about
I'm
it.
giddy thinking about how good the rest of their line is going to be.
Yeah, like what's their line gonna be?
I have no idea. I
Wow.
have no idea.
I mean, like Fred was talking on that one I just listened to. He said that they were probably going to start doing more age statements, but charging a little more for it.
I agree.
If it was on this one and they had like a 12-year so that I could match it up with the Weller 12, that'd be phenomenal. I'd pay every bit for that. I mean, that'd be great.
Wow.
Especially knowing if it was going to be bottled and bond.
Mm-hmm.
Weller 12 at 100 proof, if anything compared to that, I think I'd be on it.
Can we get more of this? Where can we find? For real.
I will direct you, gentlemen, to where you can find more of it after the show is over.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And it has entered into the realm of one of our favorites.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's.
I
Like
know, but it's up there with
it's
some of
very
our
good.
higher rated.
It's
I think
very
at this
good.
point.
I feel like if they could dial in the nose, this would be one
Yeah.
that I keep around the house
Yeah,
all the time.
for sure. Okay,
Yeah. That's good.
I paid about $50 for this.
I think that's worth it.
Really?
I mean, I want to say first product, like maybe a little overzealous, but
Yeah.
I mean, based off of all what we said and like just
Yeah. You know what?
$50,
You're right.
like-
You're right.
I'm gonna give it 50 just because I'm going to places every other day looking for stuff, and I haven't seen it. So just the rarity factor alone, and the fact that it's new and it's good, it's there, man.
I'm starting to get some of the like warehouse smell on the nose since it's been open a little bit.
I could see that.
So some of the barrel influence is actually coming through. It's not extreme, but it's definitely present.
This is gonna be one you come back to in 2 or 3 months.
Oh, we will definitely be revisiting this, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because
and I'm very intrigued to see the
progression.
progression of it.
Yeah.
I need to try it once a day for the next 2 months, Barry.
Take notes every time you try it.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm thoroughly impressed. I really am. I'm kind of sad that I can't just go to any liquor store and pick up a bottle of this. Oh my gosh. And the flavors just keep getting better and better. Like it starts becoming like this home-baked bread kind of
It's good.
taste to it that's just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The weeded, I think, makes this.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
so too.
there's not a whole lot of people doing a weeded bottle and bond.
No. Speaking of which,
We both had it. Do you think he should try it?
I think he needs to try
I
it.
think
Yeah.
he should, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What should I try?
Do we have a clean glass around?
I don't know.
Let me go get one.
Okay, so Kurt's going to go get a clean glass for himself. And while he's doing that, I'm going to tell you guys what he is about to be drinking, which is the newly released Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond 11-year,
What?
which just came out a couple weeks ago. Super limited, would you say?
It's pretty limited, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the reason it's going to be a good comparison is you've got this at... I'm assuming they did a 4-year with this one, because, I mean, that's...
It's got to
new.
be. It's
Yeah,
got to be.
so this one's an 11-year, but they're both bottled and bond weeded bourbons.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what Kurt thinks about this.
There's not a more direct comparison
Yeah.
than this, really. I mean, I can't think of much.
And this
Really?
might skew his review of the Wilderness Trail, but
A little bit, yeah. But I mean, it's definitely worth trying because we both had it.
I think
maybe not back
we
to
just
back,
had
but we
it.
both had it.
We just had it, yeah.
So you're saying, like, in comparison, you think?
Yeah, I want to see what you think compared between the two.
Because there's a pretty big price gap, and if you think they're on anywhere near the same level, I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, and we won't tell you what the difference is
Yeah,
until you've had it.
I like the nose better on this. I will say that.
I have to agree.
I'm getting more of the fruitiness on it rather than just the straight heat. Not straight heat, but like
I got you.
More of the sting.
Yeah. I got a lot of barrel on the nose too.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting more of the warehouse barrel smell than what I did on
sure.
there. Which
For
I mean, come on, you kind of. If you're comparing the two, like first product to.
I mean, Old Fitz has been around for forever.
Yeah,
it is their first release of I think of an 11 year, but Old Fitz itself has been around forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If you see just the labeling on Old Fitz, you're gonna think, yeah, that's been there since
before
I was born.
Yeah.
It's been there a while.
It's a heritage brand. Oh god, he drank it.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's very
really
good.
freaking
so
good.
Smooth.
Yeah.
I'm going back for more.
Okay. He went back very quickly too. He didn't even think about it.
I'm getting a lot of the barrel taste. With that sweetness though still.
Yeah. What's that sound like, Swan?
What is it?
Never mind. What you said is a lot of what I said.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. And I think honestly, it's just attributed to the fact that it's wheated. I mean, a lot of that. And there's not a whole lot of wheated bottle and bonds. I mean, you can Maker's Mark doesn't make a bottle and bonds. A couple of others don't.
Kind of wish they did, but
that's
a conversation for another day.
Yeah, and when you can compare the two, that's great. So what do you think do you feel like a price difference is warranted between the two, or?
I think a price difference is warranted, yes. Would I say probably the huge gap that you're about to tell me? More than likely, probably not.
Okay, so
I do think that there should be a wage gap.
A wage gap?
There should be a wage gap.
Oh my goodness.
We're not getting into this today.
Yeah. No.
Women are getting paid. I'm just joking.
I might have to cut
What's the
that
difference?
Okay, so the Wilderness Trail was $50,
Okay.
as I said. The Old Fitz Bottled and Bond was $110.
50 to 110.
You're looking at probably like 120 after taxes.
Yeah. So is the Old Fitz worth about $60 more? $275 at most than the Wilderness Trail. See,
Just bourbon, just comparing,
yeah,
no history behind.
yeah,
I think if we're sitting this at 50, let's just have that be our base, foundation.
Mhm.
If this is 50, I think that Old Fitz should probably be around, $75, $80.
I have to agree.
I think that speaks volumes to the Wilderness Trail.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's probably one of the best bourbons I've tasted this year has been that Old Fitz.
I mean, I mean, this is definitely better.
Well, yeah, and I expect it to be.
Yes.
but
I think I would say 90.
yeah, at most.
85, yeah, at most. I think it really should sit at 80.
And that's not to detract from the quality of Wilderness Trail either.
No.
Wilderness Trail
is
really, really good.
Well, this is what I kind of want to get at. If Old Fitz is sitting at 110, 120, you said, this in about 15, 20 years
would be exquisite.
Yeah.
And that time I did mean to say exquisite.
Yeah. I think Give Wilderness Trail time.
Yeah.
They're going to be sitting on the both the same shelf.
Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of times what we have been seeing, or what we've seen, is that distilleries will come out with products too quickly, or they'll come out with a product that just isn't up to snuff, even though they're new or whatever.
Mm.
But the fact that we're sitting here going, this is a new distillery.
They took their time on it.
They did, and I think that it's to their benefit, which gives me hope for Castle and Key as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think Castle and Key is going to have good competition in Wilderness Trail in a couple
I'll
of
be
years.
interested to see. I mean,
and we might have to do a comparison between the two as well.
Yeah,
sure.
But
I'm interested to see it just because.
I finished mine.
We'll
Shoot, I needed a little bit more for comparison.
Yeah. Well, he left some in here if you want some of this.
Oh no, that's the Old Fist. I need more of the Wilderness.
Oh, gotcha.
What are you talking about?
There's Old Fits in here.
I know, but
I didn't want to take all that.
You can drink some of it.
you can have that sample there. No, take it. Take it seriously.
Yeah, there's a second one in here.
Yeah.
I see. I see. We'll save this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Save this
For sure. Put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Put it on the cabinet.
I'll be interested to see. I don't know. I mean, granted, I can't say anything because I haven't tried the Castle and Key. It hasn't came out yet. You know,
No.
all these things. So I can't say anything right now. But
No.
I don't know.
I think what really excites me about Castle of Key is that she's got Marianne
Barnes.
Marianne Barnes.
Yeah.
My bad. I didn't know if it was Mary or Marianne. She's got a chemistry background, and she's making all of this with a background in chemistry, and really taking it down to like the base level of everything, and making stuff. And everything she's done's been bourbon influenced. Like I've tried the gin, and like you said, it's a bourbon drinker's gin.
Yep.
I can't imagine what's going to happen when she comes out with properly aged bourbon.
Well, you know what she's basing her recipe off of, right?
What is it?
She's basing it off of a pre-prohibition style bourbon.
And see, the last people that did that,
awesome.
I loved it. The 1920 that was like the prohibition style.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, exciting things are coming in the world of bourbon
For real.
here soon. And if the Wilderness Trail Bottled and Bond is any indication, we're all in for a big treat. This is incredible.
Can I have a taste more?
Absolutely. Bourbon was made to be shared.
Yeah, you don't have to drive. You're good.
So, we're going to review this one. We're going to use the show's regular system of reviewing, which is nose, palate, finish, and price. I really did freak out for a second as it looked like you were chugging my bottle of Wilderness Trail. Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. And at the end, we tally everything up for a total out of 20. And,
Try that nose again.
See, the nose still is not doing it for me. The nose is really on the low end of the spectrum.
No, it definitely is, but it got
It's
better.
opened up. It's opened up quite a bit. Man, this excites me so much. Do you need more, Swan?
No, I'm good. I'm savoring what I have. It's great. This is fantastic.
It's opened up.
We've been sitting here. I mean, we've only had it open for what, 15, 20 minutes?
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's already becoming an entirely different animal. I mean, you could say that it started out as an ugly duckling and went on to be a swan or something like that. But
Exactly.
no, it definitely did not start out ugly. It started out
Yeah.
great and became the best.
Yeah.
Not the best. Greater. Whatever. Man. Okay, I do like the nose more.
So the rating system.
Rating system.
Yeah.
Never pulled
Let's get
fleshy
that.
piercings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please let's never ever call it
Lord,
that.
no.
I'm gonna make this live.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I got it, man. The sleepy boy's out. The other sleepy boy.
Wait, he's got to be like the Sleepy Boy alternate.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Home-based Sleepy Boy alternate.
The like 6-man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're the 6th man of the podcast.
Oh yeah, because you got Chad and Sarah.
Chad and Sarah, yeah.
Oh well. I didn't even think about that.
No, it
but
works
that
out perfectly.
That works out pretty good.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, I listened to all of them, I swear. I'm going to give the nose probably a 3. I think, honestly, it's probably the weak point of this. The palate.
I agree.
I don't feel like I can give it a 5, knowing that there's something out there that's better. Like, that's why I wanted you to compare the old fits, but it's definitely a solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Finish, it's good, but I know it's going to get better. Like you said, given a few years, it's going to be just phenomenal. I'm going to give it a 3.5. And the price, I'm going to give it a 3.5 again. I think it could be better, but I'm not gonna buy it and be regretting the purchase at all.
I don't.
Yeah, no,
I mean, at $50, I really do not regret this.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 or a 4.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that kind of really helps the price too is I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that I haven't. Honestly,
Would you bump it up to a 4?
I'm gonna bump it up to a 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
That brings your total score up to 14.5 out of 20. I mean, that's...
Which is, for us, like,
That's pretty
recommend.
good.
Yeah,
This is definitely a recommend.
Yeah, 15 is like a solid recommend. Anything over 10, you guys are like, you should try it. Anything under 10, it seems like if it's at a bar and it's a decent price,
Yeah.
maybe
Even
you
then,
should try
think about it.
Usually our under 10s are like, you just don't.
You should probably consider
If you
other
ever,
options.
yeah, if you should
If it's given to
ever
you
come
for free.
If
across,
you're feeling froggy,
yeah.
Anyway, Kurt, what do you think?
Nose, I'm gonna give a 3. It falls short on that end. Like, not bad. It's still good, but a 3. Palate, let me try it one more time. I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Still, I mean, man, it's good stuff. 4. The finish, I'll give it a few, like Swan was saying, and I'll give it a 3. Yeah, give it a 3. And then price, I have to give about a 4. Just because, I mean, I venture on the say of 4.5, just because I'm looking more into the future of like where this is gonna be.
Sure.
And I really think that it's probably gonna be like higher.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be. Maybe, and honestly, it might be a fact of such limited quantities that this will end up going lower, which would be fantastic.
Great. Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
So, I hope so. I'll give it a 4.
Yeah.
I would really like them to make this like a standard offering and then have a better offering as well.
Yes.
Because I'd almost be disappointed to see them take this and say, well, we've got enough stock
the best
to make
we have.
a 5 or a 6 year now.
Yeah.
And so we're going to get rid of the 4 year.
I hope they take this and make it like a Henry McKenna, like $35. And then...
That would be great.
Yeah, and then have their, cream of the crop, sitting at... I would pay 120, something like that, for the best thing that they have.
Yeah.
What I want, but I don't think they'll. We'll see what they do.
So your total score was a 14 out of 20.
Yeah.
Mine actually is going to be the lowest of the three of us. The nose for me was a 2.5. I just didn't think that the nose quite lived up to what the palate offered, and it didn't really entice me. I think that there are definitely better noses out there. Mm-hmm. But it's their first offering.
Yeah.
Which I think firmly plants me in the middle of the road at 2.5. Palate, though, I'm going to have to give it a 4 as well, as everybody else has. It's so incredibly complex.
Yeah.
It's a little chewy, but in a good way, in that, like, I kind of feel like I'm, like, swirling it around and, like, kind of biting into something really, specific. That I just really, really enjoy the palate. I think that is what has kind of won me over on this. Finishes a 3. It's not amazing, but it's not... I'm not going to be upset with it by any means. And then on the price, I gave it a 4 as well. I mean, it's just... $50 on a first release bourbon. I mean, they very easily could have gone, yeah, it's $90. It's $100.
Oh yeah, they could have. They definitely could have.
And I'm happy that they didn't because, I mean, that to me makes it more accessible. It's still, as far as we know, it's still a 4-year-old bourbon. You know, and I think that the ceiling for me really is about $50 for a 4-year-old bourbon, especially that is this limited in release.
Have they came out with how long it's been aged?
No. If they have, I haven't seen it, but
I just assumed 4 year because if you're new, I'd be like the guy sitting. Okay, we put it in there.
I'd do the same.
Yeah,
I would do the
same here.
same
3
exact
years,
thing.
364 days ago, and like 23
Get it
hours.
out! Get it out! Get it out!
And then just like after lunch, barreling it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Yep.
bottling every bit of it. Just
Yep.
why not?
Absolutely.
And that's still way more than some people wait for the new distillery. So I'm damn proud of them.
So I gave it a total score of 13.5 out of 20. Again, don't take that as a bad thing, because I definitely recommend this bourbon if you can find it. If not, maybe we'll do a giveaway someday of a sample of it or something like that. I think
So
that'd be
can
pretty special.
Perry,
Definitely.
the bourbon finder, please find me a bottle?
I'll work on it.
Man,
I'll work on it for you there,
Also,
son.
if this is just 4 years, I mean,
Imagine what a 5-year or a 6-year would be like, and then
I
all the
just
way up
sort
until
of
like
compared
10
it
years.
to Henry McKenna a little bit.
No, I think the same thing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, I enjoy Henry McKenna better, but like in comparison, that's a 10-year to a
4-year. I mean,
if that's the age.
no, and I know what you're saying too is that this has, as good as it is, it has so much potential.
Yes.
You know, and I'm so looking forward to the future of Wilderness Trail that I don't know. I'm gonna be holding on to this
Cherish
for,
that, yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
when people ask for bourbon recommendations and they're past the whole, I only drink Maker's
Woodford.
Mark, I only drink Woodford. I usually tell them, I'm like, Henry McKenna 10-year, try it. That's the high corn offering. If they're like, I want to try weeded, and this is gonna be my recommendation. Honestly, I mean, it's
Have to agree.
it's there. I mean, I can tell them Weller, but unless they're willing to sit at the liquor store for
Shell out
an
money
hour
for
a day or pay secondary, it's just not feasible.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Well, I think that about wraps up our review portion of the show. So we're going to move on to our infamous segment, Tips and Bits. Kurt's looking around his living room, going, "Oh, I wasn't ready for it."
Scrambling.
I got
thought
put in
this
this
was
last
just a-
minute.
Swan's
really
had a
have
full
any
2
plans.
hours to think about it. So, in that spirit, Swan, you want to go first?
Oh yeah, that's great. I'll work on that. Honestly, like the big thing that I've been doing recently is now that I have like a pretty decent supply of bourbon at my house to kind of pick through and choose through, just trying the barrel picks, man. I've been going everywhere, just going nuts with the barrel picks.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's sticking with the bourbon theme. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of video games, like an obscene amount of video games. Mostly just because I got a weird like work schedule, so I get off at 3 in the morning. It's like, who's up? Video games are up. So I've been playing like Overwatch and Fortnite and a couple of other those. But it's been fun. But definitely try some barrel picks. Like I brought one to Kurt today. We did one with our store, the 1792 Full Proof. And he's got a pretty pitiful bottle of regular Full Proof left over and a full bottle of the other, so I'm sure he'll enjoy it.
Yes.
One of my buddies, actually, speaking of Overwatch, is now the number one player in I don't know if it's in the U.S. or in the world on Overwatch.
It's
but he's
pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am not good at it. I am not to that level. Like I
don't
like
know anything about it.
Yeah, I like playing all the different characters and getting into it and kind of learning the backstory behind it. But then I get into a game and get my ass kicked in about half a second. So it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm definitely not at the level your friend is, I'm sure.
Probably not, unless
No.
unless you're Sam Dahlhair. But anyway,
No, I'd rather not uninstall every time I play the game.
Kurt, do you have
I've
any-
played that a couple times.
It's
And I
hard,
just-
man. The learning curve's up there.
Yeah, learning curve's up there, but also I'm just like, I don't know. I play it a few times, and even if, like, you know, it's not that I get frustrated. It's just I'm like, I just don't know if I want to do it over
Sure.
and over again. But I'm not that into, like, I'm
Gaming?
really, yeah, as far as that. But, like, Call of Duty, I'm all on.
Sure.
Yeah, the games
So-
are short, they're fun, the
Yeah.
concept's simple,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's got the same like ability basically
Yeah,
to play
exactly.
the game.
Mm.
And then with this, you get into Overwatch and some of the other ones, and it's like there are people that
Oh.
do this 24/7
Yeah.
and nothing else, and they are here to make me feel bad about myself.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, jeez. I'm just going to say, go out and enjoy this weather.
Oh, this weather.
Because,
is
oh my
unbelievable.
gosh.
I mean, if
man.
you're in Kentucky, and I guess parts of Tennessee
I mean,
as well, but
pretty much anywhere
Sure.
at this point. Because this winter has just been brutal.
Yeah, it's
Unless
not
it's
good.
like Florida or like, you know, something like that. But, man, this winter was brutal. I heard that April was like the coldest and like most snowy April that we've ever had.
yeah, I believe
like,
it. I believe it.
Jeez. And then when that like 80 degrees hit just a few weeks ago, I was loving it. So go out and enjoy the weather, and go swim a little bit. You know, I don't know.
Whatever.
Go outside and do things.
Just have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy yourselves.
Outside though.
Well, I have to recommend, even though I recommended it recently, Arrested Development is coming out with a new season.
Yeah, I saw that.
very soon. Which, but yes, Kurt.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I'll chime in after.
Which I'm super excited for because Arrested Development is one of my favorite shows of all time. I don't think I could tell you the amount of times that I've watched that show.
There's always money in the banana stand. Always. Love that show, man.
It's so funny. This is going to sound like a plug, but it's really not. Walmart's Sam's Italia line, which has prepackaged meals and some real good risotto. So go get some.
This is okay, like I said, I've listened to almost all of these.
What was it?
This is the strangest tips and bits I've heard.
What was it?
No, it's super good. So Walmart has a line of like prepackaged meals.
So
and-
like HelloFresh and like
kind of,
Graper?
yeah, kind of, but less user friendly.
your recommendations going down.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
Look, no, the food is really good.
Okay.
So we like Lucy and I had it recently, and we really enjoyed it. But whatever, never mind.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
Okay.
good food.
Fantastic.
That's part of my tips and bits.
Not very user friendly.
Eat well.
Okay.
Whatever. This has been a fun episode.
Atlanta season 2.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
I have
People should
not
watch.
seen it yet.
People should watch.
Not seen it yet.
Not
Yeah.
that we ever recommend Donald Glover or Childish Gambino.
No, we've never talked about either of them.
Okay.
Man, they are
on,
going
all
nuts
the
over
time.
his new video, though.
People are going way
it's
nuts
insane.
over it.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, I can definitely get with some of like the hidden meaning behind it, but I mean, I can't open up Facebook without
Oh,
just
people
seeing
about it. Yeah.
every single section filled with that.
Yep.
It's crazy, and I'm not even on Facebook that much.
You're really not, are you?
No, I just responded to somebody who told me happy birthday. That was in March.
Nice.
Anyway, all right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate everything. If you want to follow us on social media, guys, tell them where they can do that.
On Instagram, KurtCon, and then Twitter, Kurt_Con15.
As I mentioned, I'm not big on social media, but I've got the Bourbon Finder on Instagram, and that's about it. Give me a follow, guys.
If you want to follow me personally, I am at pritter1492 on just about every platform. If you want to follow the show, we have recently changed our handles to @mybourbonpod. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We also have our Threadless store at bourbonshop.threadless.com. And then if you want to become a patron of the show, you can head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. We want to say a special thank you, though, to our very first patron ever, Mr. Kyle Anderson, thank you so much for being a fan of the show and trying to keep the lights on. And
the
our
bourbon flowing.
our mobile, and the bourbon flowing. Yeah, exactly. Jeez. Thank you so much for listening and telling your friends and keeping us afloat. We really appreciate everything. We will see you next week. I think Chad and Sarah are going to be on. I think that's the next thing on the schedule. I don't know. I just do this at this point. But we appreciate everything. We will see you next week. But until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Curtis.
I'm Swan.
He was very unsure about that.
Yeah.
But this is my Bourbon Podcast.